Government says it has taken note of reportage on the state of potholes across key road networks across the country, and it's putting in a number of interventions to resolve the challenge.
Potholes have been developed in the southern part of Roundabout and northern part of Roundabout are being developed. So we are waiting for eastern part of the Roundabout to develop, which I think that it's a serious thing that we ought to look at. Unfortunately, we can't tie the reason why we can't do this route to Russian and Ukraine war and COVID. We can only tie it to the fact that it's a critical route that needs to be maintained.
That's Charles Mintaba, a social commentator in the Western region, lamenting how deplorable the Paa Grant Roundabout is currently.
This route is critically important, as I cited. As we stand here, if you want to go to any part of the city, you can go, because all roads coming from any part of the city, New Takoradi, Sekendi, Vodafone, ECG, town, link up to the Paa Grants. So that is why I think that it is so critical that we cannot waste time. We have to forgo other areas and ensure that this is fixed concerning the critical nature of this route.
The Paa Grant Roundabout is a very critical route in the Sekendi Takoradi metropolis. It connects most part of the city to the Takoradi harbour, two important hospitals, the Gapoa and European hospitals. It also connects the ECG regional office, the GMPC operational headquarters, GASEM, and the main market centre, among several other important places in the metropolis. The sad story, however, is that the stretch is riddled with potholes. This hole was once small, but it was ignored for several months and has now widened into a huge one, best described as a king-size bed capable of accommodating more than 2 adults. There is even one that has deepened and collects so much when it rains that it looks more like a swimming pool.
So this is the Paa Grant Roundabout here in the Sekendi Takoradi metropolis, named after one of Ghana's founding fathers, Paa Grant, George Paa Grant. But as we speak, how do we as a country intend to honor his memory? What we've decided to do is to honor him with potholes. Like you see behind me, several potholes surround this roundabout. So in our estimation, the best way to honor someone who did his best for this country, Ghana, is to rather allow potholes to build up around a place we named after him.
Charles Mintaba is not happy.
So let's assume that Paa Grant was seated here alive. Will we allow this route to deteriorate to this state? There are people who will not want to pass here just because of the state of this route. So if we named this place after Paa Grant, and the actions and inactions of city authorities have gotten to a state that we cannot work on it, and people who would have passed here to honor Paa Grant don't pass here, what have we done to Paa Grant? And for me as a resident, that is what goes through my mind. We stood here just for the past 1 hour. You realize that there are some big trucks that they had to tow off from this place because of the deteriorating nature of the route. It has gotten it has gotten to a state that when it rains and you are in town, you have to decide to change your routes, because if you don't take time, you may be locked up here.
He wonders why authorities have allowed the Paa Grant Roundabout to deteriorate to this level.
Because the money involved in fixing this route, I don't think that it is something that some individuals cannot do. But we are in a country that when you have your money to come and fix the road, they will tell you that city planners will have to. So what at all is the problem that city planners cannot fix now? Knowing the critical nature this road is. If you are coming from Sekendi, you have to use this route. If you are coming from Beach Road, ECG, GSTS road, you have to use this road. If you are coming from Ghana Telecom, you have to use this road. If you are coming from town, Market Circle, you have to use this road. If you are coming from New Takoradi, you have to use this road. So the question is that the critical nature of this road should not have potholes develop around a prominent person who we name after him, Paa Grant. And that is why I think that it is a state of emergency.
Driver John supplies mineral water in the metropolis. He says it is sad that all the officials of the region use this stretch but have looked on unconcerned.
We have complained about the potholes several times, but nothing is done about it. If some of my load had not been bought, all of it would have poured onto the road now. Meanwhile, we pay tax. The regional minister, the MPs and other big officials use this road daily, but they seem not to care. We are really suffering, buying spare parts, especially our ball joints.
To protect their vehicles from slumping into potholes, some drivers have now resorted to climbing into the perimeter of the roundabout, destroying the curbs.
Being in Sekondi Takoradi, the capital of the region, yet look at the state of our road. Is it good? This is a disgrace. It must be fixed.
We are really suffering. When you move a little, your car scratches the surface of the road because of the potholes. The last time, my friend vested in some
To Charles Mintaba, the city authorities must act quickly to get this fixed.
So I appeal to city planners, urban routes, the regional minister and the metro chief executive that this is beyond where we have to allow you to consider the critical nature and why this place was named after a very important person. For Ghana's independence cannot be discussed unless it is linked up to Paa Grant. And Paa Grant Roundabout cannot be discussed unless it is linked up to the major roads of this city. That is the need where there's an emergency, there's a need for us to work on it.
When will authorities intervene and solve these challenges? Your guess is as good as mine. From the roundabout, the Paa Grant Roundabout in Sekondi Takoradi, for Joy News, I am Samuel Kojo Brace.